Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the second week of August 2024. So I'm here with my catch-all planner, which I use mostly for work, and we are going to go ahead and grab the daily review and the weekly review cards. And we're going to start with the daily review. So we are currently on Friday, and I need to do the daily review. The day is not yet over, but it's going to be pretty soon. That's why it's a little bit darker than normally. So let me just write down what I did for the day. So here I did the complete ETS, and then I'm going to put support for 75049 up here, and I'm also going to put here that I had Bolognese pasta for lunch. Let's see what else I did. Let me write down here Nina's meds during the morning, which I did, and also Nina's meds during the night. So this is done already. Then I'm going to put here RLI template, and for the rest of the day I'm going to put support for 53068 until the end here, which I'm going to put support for 75049. There you go. So for the daily review, I need to count the project hours, which are these ones that I just wrote. For 7002 ETS, I had half an hour. And then for 70002 meeting, I had 2 hours. And for this project, in terms of RLI template, I used 1 hour of my day. Then for 75049 support, I had 2 hours. And for 53068 T1 support, I'm going to put here 1 hour. And 53068 T3 support, I'm going to put 2 hours. So at the end of the day, I had 2, 3, 5, 7, 8.5 hours done. Okay, that's perfect. So let's go ahead and update the weekly. Let's see if I have anything that I need to update here. Oh yeah, I do have this webinar which I did not write down here. So I'm going to grab my transparent dots and I'm going to put it at the time that it happened, which started at 9, and it was a 2-hour webinar. So let's go ahead and grab these transparent dots. Oops, I think, there you go. And it was on Friday, 9 o'clock. So this was TC webinar, which took exactly 2 hours. Okay, the week is updated. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my weekly insert and I'm going to count the hours that I had for each project. So what I do every single day is to write here on top of the page how many hours or how much time I spent on each task, and each task falls into some kind of project. And these numbers are the numbers of the project. So for Monday, I had 3 different projects that I worked on. The first one was 7002, and I read emails under that, and I also had 1 meeting. So I spent 1.5 hours for this project on Monday. And I also have another project, which is the 53068, which I spent 1.5 hours plus 2.5 hours, so in total 4 hours. And then finally, I also spent some time on this project here, which is the 75025, and this was 3 hours. Now on Tuesday, I spent some time on the 2 first projects of Monday as well, But then the third one was 75049 instead of 75025. So for the first one, I spent 3 hours. For the second one, I spent, let me see, 3 hours and a half. And then for the third one, 2 hours. And like I said before, I do this counting because at the end of the week, I do need to write that down in a form for my company. So let me just write down how much time I spent doing this that I didn't finish. So I had 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours and a half. So 3.5 here. If we count everything, we have 4, 5, 6.5, 7, 8. We are missing half an hour, if I'm not wrong, because I did start here at 8 and I finished at 4:30. Oh, and I had half an hour lunch, so yeah, I'm missing half an hour. I'm just going to count that as 75049 extra, because I am going to go on a trip under that project, so I'm going to have a couple extra hours, which I'm going to use on these days that I didn't complete my time. So under 7002, I had 3.5 hours here, plus half an hour here, so in total I had 4 hours. Then for 53068, I had 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, and that's all. So 2.5 hours. And then for 75049, I had 2 hours, which makes 8 hours and a half, which is how much time I work each day. Now, on Thursday, I did focus on 7002, so I had 5 hours for that, plus 2 hours, so 7 hours in total. And then under 75049, I'm going to put 1.5 hours. Finally, on Friday, I had also a lot of time on 7002. I had 3 hours and a half. For 53068, I had 3 hours. And then for 75049, I had 2 hours, which closes 8 hours and a half exactly. Now that I'm done filling up all of the days of the week, I'm going to calculate the total. So for 70002, we have 1.5, 4.5, 8.5, 15.5, 16, 19 hours. For 53068, I had 7.5, 8, 10, 13 hours. And then for 75049, I had 2, 4, 5.5, 7.5 hours. And for 75025, I had 3 hours. So let's just add everything up to see if we're correct. So we have 10.5 here, plus 29.5, 32.5, 42.5, which is exactly the amount of hours that I do per week. So all is well. Okay, I'm done with that. Let's just get back into the daily review task here. So I did count the project hours. I did update the weekly update meals. I'm not sure if I did that. Let's go have a look. So this is probably the meals. Yes. So we are on the 16th today. So I did have margarita pizza yesterday. And then for lunch today, I had bolognese pasta. Oh, wait. I got it wrong. I did have margarita pizza here, but not on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I think I had cereal for lunch. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this out because I did make a mistake here. One thing that I don't like about whiteout is that it's never white. It's kind of yellowish, but that's fine. So I did have bolognese pasta today, and then yesterday I had, what's the name? I had meat and potato and French fries. Okay, so we did update the, did it dry it? Yeah, so I'm just going to write here cereal. There you go. So we did update the meals. Next thing is to cross the day on the monthly. It's a little bit soon on the day to cross out, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Check the habits. So in terms of habits, I think I'm also updated it already. Wash hair, collagen. I did take my collagen today, so that's great because I didn't miss any days. I did do my morning routine, and I don't have any social events today. So we did check our habits. We need to write the mood and weather. So let's get back here. The 16th, we have a sunny day today, which is going to be a 3. And today I'm kind of tired, so I'm just going to put 5 here. Okay, now we are done with the daily review. Let's just get this back here. And let's focus on the weekly review, which is what we are doing now. So we did already complete the daily sheets. We did update the weekly meetings, project, and the deliverable hours. So we are missing the deliverable hours. Let's go ahead and focus on that now. So what I'm going to do is basically just to count how many hours I spent on each task of each project. And this, I don't need to fill a form for that. I just like to have a little bit more control on what I spent time and energy each week for each project. So let's start with 7002. The first task that I have here is meeting. So how many hours I spent on meetings and also emails. So starting with meetings, I have 1 hour here, 2 hours and a half, 3 hours, and 5 hours. So I had 5 hours of meetings for this project this week. In terms of emails, I think I only had half an hour, which is usually what happens, either half an hour or a maximum of 1 hour and a half. Next, what I'm going to put is also the RLI template. So I spent 1 hour and a half on Tuesday. I did spend 3 hours and a half on Wednesday, so 5 hours in total, plus 5, so 10 hours. And here 1 hour, so 11 hours for the RLI. So that's this. Now let's see what else I did for this specific project. I think we're done with this here, with this here as well. And then here we have support, which is new. Usually I don't have support for this project, but this week I did, and it was 1 hour and a half. And I also have visit. So I have been doing a couple of visits during these last few weeks, and this counts as well. And then finally I have ETS, which is going to be half an hour. So in total we have 5 and a half, 16 and a half, 17, 18, 19 hours, which is exactly what we calculated before, so that's fine. Now let's jump into 53068 and let's see the tasks that we had. I always have T1 support as well as T3 support. And aside from that, I also have T1 meeting and T3 meeting. So these are usually the basic tasks that I perform during the week for this particular project. So for T1 support, I had 1 hour and a half here, not 1 hour, 2 hours and a half, then plus 2 hours, so 4 hours and a half. Let's see, 5 hours and 6 hours. So this week I had 6 hours for T1 support. And for T3 support, let's go back and see. Half an hour. Let's see. Nothing here, nothing here. 2 hours and a half. Let's check now T1 meeting. So for meeting, we have 1 hour on Monday, 1 hour and a half on Tuesday, so 2 hours and a half. Plus half hour, 3 hours in total. And that's it. 3 hours in total for T1 meeting. Now in terms of T3 meeting, I'm not sure if I had any this week. Let me just have a quick flip through to see if I did have. No, I did not have. So this is going to be 0. 0 hours. Let's see what else I did for this project. So I have support here, meeting here as well, support, and I think everything is support. So I guess we are done with this project. So it's going to be 9 hours, 11 hours and a half. I'm missing 1 hour and a half if I counted right. So let me get back and do this second check. Okay, so I just saw what I did wrong. On Wednesday, I put that I had 2 hours here for this project, but I actually had 1 hour. And then for 750449, I did have 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, which is correct. So I had 3 hours here and a half. So this is where I went wrong. I have 3.5 for this project. There you go. Now it's all correct. So this is going to be 11 hours and a half. And this is going to be 9 hours. It's not pretty, but I think it works. Okay, so here I'm just going to write down 11 and a half. And then we're going to jump into 75025, which is going to be just the stress document that I was checking. And this was 3 hours. And then for 75049, I think I'm just going to have meetings and then support. I don't have any specific task for this project this week, I think. So let's start with meeting. I had, let's see, here 1 hour and a half plus, that's all. So I had 1 hour and a half for meeting. Now for support, I did have 2 here, 2, 3.5, 4, 5, and 7 hours. 7 hours, and we are missing 1 half hour, which is going to be extra. This is going to be half hour. And together, all of this makes 9 hours, which is correct. Okay, we are done counting all of the hours for each task of each project. I'm just going to use my highlighters to highlight the project hours and totals. So let's go ahead and grab this. So this is going to be a very bright red, 75025. 7002, I think it's green. Let me see. Yeah, it's green. So that's what we're going to use. Then the next one is blue. And finally, the other one is going to be light pink. There you go. So we are done with this weekly review in terms of hours. Let me go back and put this right here. Okay, now where did my card go? I did update everything related to the weekly. I did update the meals, the habit tracker, weekly and monthly tasks. So let's see our weekly tasks here. I did complete a couple of different things. I did not complete anything else aside from ETS, which is nice. Now in terms of issuing test 1 procedure revision 3, I think we just need that signed. So let me go ahead and write down what I didn't do. So training matrix, I'm going to write after. I'm going to focus on RB2, what is this? RLI Rev 2. So this, we are still waiting for MSO to sign. And this was since, let me check last week if I wrote down. Since when? August 6th. 6th of August. Okay, it has been a couple of days since that happened. Let's see, 75025 stress document. So sign 75025 stress document. And this was reviewed and left comments on the 12th of August. And I am currently waiting for EAB to apply modifications to be signed. Okay, so we are currently waiting for that. That's why this was not done. So I'm just going to move this to next week. Actually, I'm just going, instead of sign, I'm going to comment here. And then next week I can put sign. I also did not finish T1 procedure. So let me write here T1 procedure Rev 3. So we did sign this the 14th of August. We are currently waiting for MSO to sign. Okay. What else do we have here? So in terms of documents, that's all. Let me just write what I did for the RLI template. So I did finished modifying the document after comments from BG was sent to ADC on this 16th August. So this is done. My part is done. I just have to wait now. Then I also have the flowcharts presentation which I didn't have time to do, and also the training matrix. So training matrix didn't have time to start, and then also the flowchart presentation didn't start. Okay, so that's all that we have in terms of tasks for this week. Now let's go back and check the monthly. The monthly, we have the training matrix, the Python course, the partial test report, flowcharts presentation, dissection report, and anchoring, which has not been started as well. Everything else, it's done. Now I did do partially this. Okay, so in terms of tasks, I think we're good. And finally, we have update weekly, monthly. We have updated the weekly budget. So let's go back into the budget, which is right here. Let me see if I spent anything else. If I spent on anything else this week. I did spend on the bakery on the 12th, and this was just for food, and this was $240, and this was Pix. Let me see if I spent anything on my credit card. 7th of August, okay. not for this bank. Let me check the other bank. Okay, I did spend some money on the 15th for meds and cat food. So this was for the cats, and this was 137 and 90. My female cat just got fixed, so I am spending a little bit more than what I expected, what I expect to spend on them. So I have a little bit of money here. I'm just going to transfer this. Okay, so I just did that, and I'm just going to write down that I had some entries here in terms of income. Okay, it stopped recording, but I did have this birthday gift here from my grandma and my aunt, which totaled for $550 and 50 cents. So that's all that I have in terms of expenses and income. And I think we are done with the weekly review. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of video, please let me know. I like doing it with you because it makes me do it even when I don't feel like it. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.